Welcome to the Ohio Family Engagement Leadership Summit. We are so glad that you could join us on this day of professional learning meant to take family, school, and community partnerships to the next level. My name is Marcy Cam, and I will be this session's moderator. This session is on family engagement. How can it be designed for out-of-school time programs? If you have any questions, concerns, or technical issues, please message me privately in the chat. If you would like contact hours for the session, a code will be provided at the end and to enter a request form. Please be on the lookout for this code as it will be provided only once. And to ensure that we get the most out of today, we do ask that all participants turn off their webcams and microphones. If you have questions for the presenter, please use the chat feature and they will have a Q&A at the end, as well as answering questions during the presentation that they are able to answer quickly. You can also join the conversation on Twitter by using the hashtag OHSummit24 to share your thoughts. And with that, I will turn it over to our presenters.
Well, again, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to our session, Family Engagement, Importance and Benefits of Out-of-School Time Programs. We are glad you are here today with us. So as we start our session, we want to hear from you and your decision to join us today. In the chat, go ahead and introduce yourself and then answer one or both of the questions that are here on the screen. What are you wondering about family engagement and out-of-school time programs? Or what are you hoping to get out of this session? Good morning to those just joining in. Right now, we're just introducing ourselves in the chat and then answering one or both of the questions that are there on the screen. What are you wondering about family engagement and out-of-school time programs? And what are you hoping to get out of this session? Good morning, Adrian. Good morning, Jennifer. And while those are coming into the chat, we'll introduce ourselves here. My name is Wesley Owens. I'm a Family Engagement Research Associate. I'm one of the instructors for the 21st Cafe seminar, as well as an instructor with other seminars that we provide here at the Ohio Statewide Family Engagement Center. Prior to my role here, I taught physical education for 7 years, and then was a enrollment coordinator and community liaison for a couple of years after that at a kindergarten through 8th grade school here in Columbus, Ohio. And before I became a teacher, I worked with youth and families in sports and the recreation field. And then joining with me today is my colleague, Sarah.
Well, thanks, Wesley. And yes, as I'm reading the chat here, and I'm seeing a lot of people asking about like new ideas and new tips. And our three people from our 21st Cafe program who are out of school time program experts, I'm so excited for you to hear their ideas and their experiences that they have, because they have some great ideas. But so as Wesley said, my name is Sarah Deshawn, and I'm a family engagement learning coordinator at the Ohio Statewide Family Engagement Center. And before working at the center, I was an elementary teacher, primarily first and third grades, with 1 year as a K-6 STEM teacher, which was a lot of fun. So at the Ohio Statewide Family Engagement Center, we're a leader in the field of family, school, and community engagement. At the Center on Education and Training for Employment, a translational research center within the College of Education and Human Ecology at The Ohio State University. Our goal is to bring research to action by providing schools, families, and community partners with the tools they need to work together so all children have success in learning and life. Specifically, we have been working with the Future Forward Ohio office at the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce on a project titled 21st Century Advancing Family Engagement, or 21st Cafe, with Ohio's 21st Century Community Learning Center programs. And our project consists of online modules that our participants complete, 3 online workshops, and then online communities of practice where we focus on family engagement at the programs. Later in this presentation, as I mentioned before, we're going to hear from 3 of our participants, 3 of our experts in this project to share their experience with family engagement at their out-of-school time programs.
Well, we have a few learning objectives for today, and those are, first, I can explain the importance of family engagement in out-of-school time programs. Second, I can identify strategies to incorporate family engagement in out-of-school time programs. And then last, I can create next steps to support engagement in out-of-school time programs. And then just really quickly, here's our agenda for today. And in just a moment here, we're going to just poll you just to learn about your experiences in family engagement and out-of-school time programs. We're going to use a tool called Mentimeter to do that. We'll be talking about why family engagement is important. And then we have guests with us today who are part of our 21st Cafe last year, and you'll get the chance to meet with them in some breakout rooms to hear about their work. And then we'll be back together with the whole group Q&A, and then we'll finish by doing a reflection and sharing out what we learned today.
So we want to learn about your experience with family engagement in out-of-school time programs. So there is a Mentimeter code on the screen. You can scan it with your phone, the QR code there, or Wesley's going to pop into the chat the Menti address, the Mentimeter code there for you once you get in, if you need it. But it's a short answer response. You'll be able to put in you'll be able to type in your response to this question. What's your experience with family engagement in out-of-school time programs? So I think here in a couple of seconds, we'll have Wesley change over to that Mentimeter so we can kind of see what people are saying. So grab that QR code, or there's a link in the chat. Both Marcy and Wesley have placed it in. Thank you to both of you. All right. So let's take a peek here. We've got some people coming in. There's a coordinator with the SA6 families. And then Wesley, can you, once you get a chance, will you close the QR there if we've got everybody in? All right, and I would imagine Laura and Abby and Sabine have probably have some of the similar feelings that are popping up on the screen. Some, for the family engagement ask, like, what is your experience? No one cares, trouble getting attendance. Coordinator at the County Board of DD, designing programs for families to attend, monthly themed family nights that meet at least one basic need, PTA activities, very limited, their PTOs, throwing after-school family engagement nights, and also pairing with the schools for their nights. We often see the same faces and families showing up to events. Let's see. Someone's new to this, new site coordinator for Mount Healthy. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Library programs, listening to Families for Perspectives for a few years now. Love to hear that. Library programming in-house, but also visiting schools for their after-school programs. Great. Oh, they've been listening to Perspectives. Great opportunity to grow together and learn from one another. We've got another 21st Century Learning Community Center program manager. Limited family engagement in home settings and science centers. Yeah, keep scrolling down there, Wesley. Well, thank you everybody so much for popping all of your experience here in the chat. Working with school time programming for approximately 15 years. Organized family engagement nights. Wesley, are there any ones that you're noticing as you're scrolling down that you want to shout out to here?
I just see a lot of different roles and experiences, common theme, and different types of roles, different kind of experiences that we're coming to with this.
And I think it's slowly slowing down here.
Yeah, I think that's where we are now. Well, thank you everyone for sharing that. We'll flip back over to our slide presentation.
So this is what we are aiming for. We know that children succeed when families, schools, school programs, and communities work together. Dr. Novak really kind of, she talked about that in her keynote session. So helping our kids succeed is like working at NASA's mission control. Just like a space launch needs astronauts, scientists, and mathematicians to work together, we need schools, school programs, families, and communities to work together to help student learning take off. Everybody has a part to play if we want to have a successful launch. The most successful launches for our students come from when we coordinate, we communicate well, and then when we listen to each other, we value and include the cultures of our families, we trust each other, we learn from each other, and when there are issues, because there always will be, and things don't go as planned, as they sometimes don't, we work together to try to get it right. Together, we can collaborate much like a mission control to help launch our children to success. So it's always amazing to see a rocket take off with all the factors going against, like gravity. It's the same for our students. There is gravity forces, events, and challenges that they, their families, and our educators must work against. And there is fuel, forces that ignite our collaboration and support our students' learning and well-being.
So when we work together well, everyone benefits, right? Educators, including teachers, school program site coordinators, program managers, and staff, they're all happier with their jobs. They have increased confidence and a better understanding of family and student needs. Students have higher test scores, better attendance, and a more positive attitude towards school. And families, well, they feel more supported. They have increased confidence in their children's education, and they have better conversations with their children about school. So today we're going to hear from our 21st Cafe experts as they share what's called a roundtable presentation. So these roundtable presentations, which highlight one of their family engagement initiatives, were shared during our final community of practice that was held this past April. And we hope that after hearing their stories today, you'll be able to identify some strategies that you can incorporate in your family engagement out-of-school time programs. So please welcome our members of 21st Cafe who will share their experience with our seminar, 21st Cafe. Abby Grafmeyer serves as Senior Manager for Advising Programs and Services in the OSC portfolio at College Now Greater Cleveland. She'll be sharing her roundtable presentation on their Impact Family Engagement Nights. We have Laura Ferguson from Norwood City Schools After School, and where she's the After School Program Coordinator. And Laura's roundtable presentation is on her program's Family Learning Series. And then our third presenter today is Sabine Canty, and this was Sabine's second year in the program. Sabine is the Family and School Connections Facilitator for Hilliard City Schools. She'll be sharing her roundtable presentation on increasing students' sense of belonging. So in just a moment, we are going to open up breakout rooms. Each of our 21st Cafe experts will be in a room sharing their presentation, and you'll get to choose which room you would like to join. We hope that when you're there, you'll be able to take some notes and find a key takeaway from what they share that you can use in your program.
Anybody have any questions? And we are more than welcome, or we are more than happy to help you get to the rooms here today. Because you are choosing your own adventure here, it won't automatically assign you to a room. So you might have to search down in at the bottom corner of your Zoom screen on the right-hand side, more, and you'll be able to choose your room. So I'm going to hold on for about 30 seconds. Any questions about our breakout room activity? Oh, sure. Leslie, thank you. So breakout 2. So Laura is going to be sharing about her program. She'll be sharing her roundtable presentation on her program's family learning series. And I don't know, Laura, do you want to give just a brief, like, this is what it is, like, this is what I'm sharing, kind of thing. And then Sabine, you're going to be sharing your roundtable presentation on increasing student sense of belonging, particularly Muslim students, correct? Yeah, so I don't know if either of you want to just come off mute and just share like 20 seconds of what you'll be sharing really quickly to help those, go find between the difference between the two.
Sure. I'm Laura, and what we did was after I had participated in the cafe last year, we really rallied, and this is showing what we did with what we learned at the cafe, how we implemented family engagement, revitalized it in our program.
Great, thank you.
Hi, everybody. Well, in our district, we have the privilege of having a large community who is Muslim. And so we serve a lot of our students. Last I looked, we were up to mid 20%. And so we needed to make sure and look at our students' sense of belonging and see how we can really help them feel part of our school community and our community at large. So we did an initiative on that.
Great, thank you, Sabine. And Abby, for good measure, do you want to kind of do a 20-second shout out for what you'll be kind of presenting on?
Sure. So we primarily work with high school students in our after school program, which does ACT, SAT prep. So we took a look at how to get parents more engaged in talking to their student about what they want to do after high school. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about our family engagement in that realm.
Great, thank you. Yes, Wesley and I really wanted to make sure that we had good group levels here. We've got a high school expert, we've got K-12 and 112 experts here. So hopefully you'll find a great room. So I'm going to go ahead and get those room open. If you can't get to your room, Wesley, myself, and Marcy can all just like move you to the room. You just let us know, I want to go to breakout room 1, 2, or 3, and we can move you there as well. So here they come. I'm opening the rooms now. So you can join Abby in the high school room 1, Laura K-12, and Sabine in room 3 with her first through 12. All right, well, welcome back, everybody. I think all of our rooms are closed now. And I was saying earlier, while we were waiting for the rooms to close, to start posting in the chat now. A key takeaway from your breakout room. Maybe it was a neat idea you heard. I know a lot of you were looking for some ideas and some strategies from the session. So something, that you learned, a strategy and idea. Could be a wondering, it could be a feeling, a thought. Your key takeaway from your breakout room. Katrina says helping students help organize cultural events. I like that. Adrian, having a person designed to focus on family engagement? Sure. Yes, Crystal, school districts having a family engagement coordinator is important. Dr. Lanisha, yes, providing supports for families to participate in sessions. Steve says giving parents surveys on what topics they'd like to cover. And surveys afterwards, yes, getting that parent feedback. Parents as evaluators of the family nights and initiatives that you have. Providing supports for families to participate in sessions. Thank you, yes. Yes, collecting that data, yes, that was one, that was the second year. So Sabine is a second year participant in our in our 21st Cafe program. And so yes, the second year they get into a little bit of light data collecting. Yes, so Abby and Laura don't know that yet, but that's what's happening this year when they start in the second year all together. Well, thank you everybody for sharing out your key takeaways here from your breakout rooms. And I'm going to come back over and not look off to the side there. I have my chat over on one side and my screen on the other here. So now we, anything that may have come up for you during the breakout rooms is kind of your chance here now to ask. We'll listen, and we're going to ask some questions, and then if we have some time at the end, we will ask our participants of the questions as well here. So we're going to spotlight. I think everyone is spotlight now. Do we have Laura here up too? Laura, Abby, and Sabine. And so let's start first here with this first initial question. And Sabine, Abby, and Laura, you can, any of you can, start off and start sharing. So, but what did family engagement look like prior to your program participating in this 21st Cafe Century Advancing Family Engagement? What did it look like prior to your participation?
As I shared in my breakout room, we really had stalled. Pre-COVID, we had a pretty strong family engagement. At that time, we did a lot of activities. It was more activity-based. And then COVID kind of really stalled it. And I really feel like participating just reignited my passion for family engagement and the realization that I really needed to get back and be strong. And after how it looks different is we created a learning series. And so there'll be a lot of fun things, but also a little bit more learning involved for our families based on what they asked for.
If I may, I think what family engagement looked like prior, we worked in pockets and we doubled up. We did it was very reactive and it was very individual kind of based. It was not sustained. And so it was very kind of disorganized. And I think that's one of the things that I really appreciated about the 21st Cafe is that I was able to put into words what I saw the need was. And so it helped me kind of organize a little bit better. So it was more sustained and more impactful, really listening to our families instead of assuming this is what they need, so I'm just going to do this. So that's what happened.
And for us, I think I mentioned this in our breakout, but working with high school students is very difficult sometimes with family engagement just because a lot of times families just expect that their high school student is going to be a little more independent and that maybe they don't have to be as engaged. So for us, after the 21st Cafe, I think it was just reevaluating what we had already been doing and making it a lot more intentional about making sure that parents knew that they were needed and that it was a great opportunity for them to have a discussion or opportunities for a discussion with their student about what's going to happen after high school and really make it a beneficial family engagement piece for both the student and the parents.
Yes, thank you, all three of you, for sharing. Yes, I heard sustained and focusing on that learning, and family engagement still is important in that adolescent high school age, and it can be done. It just looks different than it does in the elementary years. So our next question here, what barriers? So Dr. Novak talked about barriers. What barriers have you overcome to participation for students and or families? Oops, that's not the question that's on the screen, is it? I apologize. So actually, I mean, if you can answer that question, any barriers, you could also answer that. Or this one, how have you designed or redesigned family engagement to reach more families?
I think our biggest redesign was hiring our family engagement coordinator. And we found someone passionate, and that just has made all the difference and has really been the biggest impactful design to our family engagement.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts, Sabine or Abby, about that?
We also have bilingual liaisons in a lot of our elementary schools. We're up to 13 this year. They have been game changers. I mean, hearing back from our community members on how much more they feel connected to school, they feel like they're part of their school community, they know what's happening. And then comparing, we did a survey, so from elementaries that had the bilingual liaisons and the schools that did not have it. So we have families that have kids in elementary that have that and then don't have that same person in a high school or a secondary. And just the feedback has been amazing. We also created focus groups. Or community conversations, I like that word better, where we're inviting the families to come and sit in small groups, and it's very informal. We meet out in the community in small businesses, and try to support our community members, just have conversations about what their experience, what are we doing good, what can we work on together, and just keeping that communication flowing in all directions.
For us, similarities. So we are in 11 different schools for the Impact program, all across Northeast Ohio and even down to Mansfield. So it's really important for our site coordinators to be invested in the community where they're located in that school. Our programs are offered to students in any community too, as long as they can physically get to the program. So I think for us, the challenges of just, as I mentioned, with high school students, the transportation is difficult. So we do offer incentives for families like gas cards or bus tickets as an incentive to physically help them get to our family engagement events. And then also, as I mentioned, just being intentional about reaching out to parents and guardians, making sure that they know what's happening in our program. We like to send out weekly updates of this is what your student has learned in our program, this is what we're working towards, and then just giving them that opportunity. Our final family night, parents actually get to watch their student present on a college and career research project that they did where they talk about their 5 to 10 year plan. So that's just how we've managed to engage as many families as possible.
Great. Thank you, everyone, for sharing here. So can you talk a little bit about the benefits that family engagement has brought to your program? And not to move away from our discussion here, but thank you everyone who have been posting some of your responses in the chat as well. Miriam and LaMonica and Marcy there mentioned, and Becca, thank you for sharing your, what your thoughts are around these questions as well. So sorry to derail the conversation, back to it here. Family engagement, how the benefits of it for your program.
I think for us, the benefit of having a strong family engagement is a connector piece between the clients that we serve and the school district, and it's just a huge benefit because they feel connected, they feel a part of, and when we base it on what their needs are, they feel that they are valued. So I think that that's the benefit for us.
Mm-hmm.
I would say for us, it's our goal to create those opportunities for families and their students to really talk about what happens after high school. Sometimes it can be a really one-sided conversation where the guardian or parent is telling the student what they should be thinking about after school, but it's not a conversation. It's more one-sided. So I think for us, the big benefits have been that parents and students especially feel a lot more comfortable talking about a scary thing that's going to happen where they have to make decisions about their future. And since our program is test prep based as well, having those discussions about why it's so important to be invested in still prepping for the ACT, SAT, PSAT, having at least a couple opportunities to get a score that they're confident in that they can share with scholarship opportunities or the colleges that they're going to. So lots of benefits for us, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest benefit for us has been to see the involvement that our families are having. We have had, like this year, for example, I've had a family that brought in two other cousins that came from another state and moved to Hilliard because they heard that we are very responsive. We work together. We're collaborating. This is not us telling them how things are, but more really listening and working with them. And really going beyond the school community into the community and like growing together. So I think that's the biggest benefit, is to get a phone call from somebody that says, I got your number from so-and-so and I would love to, like, I want to move to Hilliard. What can I do? I think this has been really a big win to see that. This is the biggest endorsement I guess we can get, is to hear that community is growing because we're doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. Sabine, I just got chills. I think this is our last question here for you today. Talking about 21st Cafe and this program that we have, any thoughts on or takeaways from these online modules we have, these workshops, and these community of practices? You want to speak to any big takeaways of those?
I think the biggest takeaway was, for me, was being intentional about what we're doing in our family engagement, and then also knowing our clientele and knowing their needs. And I think that was really impactful in the participation that I did in the cafe, that helped me pull all this together and restart it and reignite it.
Thanks, Laura.
I think to me, it was really understanding what it means when we say working with families, not to families, like really, really engaging and using this, looking at things through an asset lens, not a deficit one.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Sabine.
I would say, yeah, I think our biggest takeaway, we've been running an impact program for at least 10 years now. So I think just looking back at where we have been successful, and then again, rethinking how we communicate, how we invite parents and guardians. And then I think the biggest opportunity from the cafe was just talking to all of our colleagues and really getting the opportunity to see what other programs are doing and how they're successful, and ways that you can incorporate that into your own.
Thanks, Abby, for sharing. Yes, and so please join me in thanking Sabine and Abby and Laura for their time and their commitment to family engagement at their programs. So feel free to, in the chat or with the reactions, please join me in thanking these people here today who have come and shared their expertise on their out-of-school time programs and family engagement. We so appreciate. I just love seeing all of you again, because we haven't seen them since April. So it was exciting to see them again. So thank you for coming today.
Yes, we're so grateful for each of our presenters today. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences, and we hope their experiences have inspired all of you. And so we would like to hear what those inspirations might be. So in the chat, if you want to just reflect on about what you heard today and what you've learned and what you're going to take away. Describe first 2 steps that you plan to take in redesigning family engagement in your out-of-school time program. So what are 2 things you might be able to do based on what you heard today? And or, hopefully an and, what's 1 star, something new that you've learned about the importance of family engagement? So we'd love to hear something new that you learned today, and possibly 2 things you might try to do based on what you heard and learned from our presenters' experiences. So communications need to be a priority.
Mm-hmm.
Surveying students and families, setting measurable goals.
Yeah, Wesley, I see Nicole said plan with families and not for them. And that reminds me kind of what Dr. Novak said, like with the would you rather do this, or what is your idea? So planning with them, yes, and not for them.
Yeah, and going along with our theme of the summit, being intentional with planning. Let's see that in the chat.
Yeah, and Destiny, youth voices matter. Yes, we actually have a research brief centering student voices. It's a newer research brief that you can find on our website in our professional learning page. So you can get lots of school ideas and ideas for families as well. Well, and speaking of redesigning, so if you've been inspired to redesign a family engagement activity, we have a great resource from our center. It's a really simple worksheet that walks a school leader, a teacher, or a school team through the process of redesigning a current family engagement practice. So the goal of the activity is to recognize how our system is set up to benefit some, but maybe not all families, and to plan out ways to engage more families in supporting their children's education. And I feel like this worksheet goes along really well with what Dr. Novak was speaking of today. Looking at a barrier, looking at the learning goal, looking at the barriers, and like picking 2 to 4 options of things that you can do to try to eliminate one of those barriers. And so it's a really great little worksheet activity that you could do as a grade level team, as a school level team. Just individually on your own as well if you are trying to do some different practices.
And I shared a link in the chat there.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Wesley.
To that resource.
Yes.
And, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, yeah. Go ahead, Wesley.
Nope, I thought this was me. This is you.
Oh, thank you. Well, it is both Wesley and I, so you will see us here. If you are wanting to design or redesign family engagement, please join us in our family engagement seminars, our individual path. We've unveiled a revamped 2024-25 seminar catalog, and the catalog includes seminars for individual professionals to access learning to advance their professional family engagement and their knowledge and their practices. So Foundations of Family Engagement, there was one already in July, but they're going to continue to run throughout this year. Upon full completion of a seminar, you get contact hours, a certificate, and a digital badge. And so that's it's a seal that indicates proof of attained family engagement and practices from the seminar. And so you can put your digital badge. I noticed in Wesley's email signature at the end, the digital badge can go there. It can go on a social media page, a professional web page, or your resume or CV. So if you haven't taken a seminar with us before, you can sign up for Foundations of Family Engagement, and that will be in February. And if you've taken Foundations of Family Engagement before, you might have, you can join us this December for multi-tiered family engagement. And that's kind of what Sabine, if you were in Sabine's room, that was what she was talking about. She had a tiered approach to family engagement. And registration is open now for at least that December one. The Foundations in February will come in a later time. All of the seminar and the registrations and the dates and times can be found in our seminar catalog, which Wesley just posted in the chat.
And just a few more resources here to share with you as we come to a close here. And then Marcy, our moderator, is going to share some important information for you after Sarah and I finish here. But one resource we have is a community of practice group that meets quarterly. It's called Family Engagement Leaders of Ohio, or Fellows for short. And I'm actually the facilitator for that. Our first meeting is coming up in a couple of weeks, October 3rd. And we just get together and share some of the practices that we do. Maybe trying to figure out some issues, share success stories. So I invite you to join there. We got a link in the chat where you can join, and hopefully you'll see you there in a couple of weeks. The next thing here for those who work in a school setting, we have a bi-monthly newsletter. It's called News and Guidance, and in this newsletter, we share information and resources on family engagement issues. So you can use the link in the chat or the QR code to get you to some of the past issues or to sign up and get that newsletter into your inbox. And the next one comes out here in October. And then we have a newsletter, a family-focused newsletter called Family to Family. So you can check this one out and then share it with those families that you're working with, because we are providing them with some resources to support their student success, their child's success in school, and connecting to you as school staff and through the community. And this one we just started this year. So this one has a few issues, and the next one will be in November.
And so if you're not ready to commit to like full seminars with online modules and online workshops, we do have our how-to webinar series. So these are just, hour-long webinar series that you can gain new skills and solve real-life challenges with these interactive hands-on webinars. Keyword is interactive. We have 4 scheduled this year, the first taking place here in October. So Wesley just put in the chat the hands-on webinars webpage. And Wes, if you want to go to the next screen, we can show you the first how to engage families of English learners. And so, this webinar was designed for K-12 educators, including regional district building and classroom-based staff who engage families. And this interactive session will equip educators and school staff with practical strategies to connect and collaborate with families from diverse linguistic backgrounds. And so again, you can get to that registration by clicking on the link that Wesley put in the chat.
Well, we want to thank you all for joining our session today. And again, we want to thank our presenters as well. We hope that you learned some things that you can take back to your program and use. So thank you again for joining us today. And again, Marcy, our moderator, has some information, some reminders for you all. So I'm going to allow her to rejoin us here. Marcy.
Yeah, so thank you, Sarah and Wesley, for sharing your time and knowledge with us today. If you could join me in thanking them in the chat. As of right now, there will be a 30-minute lunch break, and we'll put any remaining participant into a waiting room at this time, and another session will start after lunch. If you are staying for the next session in the room, you will be readmitted after that lunch break. And if this is your final session for the day, please be sure to take our survey following this link I'm going to put in the chat. And we do ask that you only take that survey once, so don't take the survey until after the final session you're going to attend for the day. So again, the next session will begin at 12 on the main stage. Remember to keep the conversation going on Twitter using the hashtag OHSummit2024 and visit the main page for all the information about today's event. If you would like to request contact hours for the session, please save the code DRAFT and enter it in the feedback survey at the end of your day. And again, the code for this session is DRAFT. I'll put that in the chat. And then
DRAFT,
also
D-R-A-F-T, yep.
Yep, the main link for the page, so that way you can continue to join sessions the whole rest of your day. There's some really good ones lined up. And thank you again to Sarah, Wesley, and then our speakers. Have a good day, everyone.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for joining us today. Have a great day. Enjoy.